Imagine this. You've been diligent with your health. You take your vitamins, you stay active, maybe even walk daily or lift light weights. But despite all of that, your legs feel weaker. Stairs take more effort. Balance feels off. And you're not quite sure why. Now, here's the surprising twist. Some of the very supplements you've been told are essential, especially as you age, could actually be accelerating the loss of muscle strength in your legs. This isn't a scare tactic, it's a reflection of a subtle yet powerful shift happening in the field of nutritional neuroscience and aging physiology. Research over the past decade has revealed that certain nutrients, when taken in excess or out of balance, can interfere with neuromuscular signaling, blunt mitochondrial performance, and even disrupt the hormonal pathways that regulate muscle repair. One of the most compelling findings: to vitamins, commonly recommended in multivitamins and standalone supplements for seniors, may contribute to leg weakness, reduced mobility, and even falls when taken improperly. That's right. The same supplements that promise strength and longevity may be tipping the scale in the opposite direction, quietly undermining the very muscle fibers and motor neurons that keep you mobile, independent, and strong. And the stakes couldn't be higher. After the age of 60, we begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of up to 1-2% per year, a condition known as sarcopenia. But muscle strength, especially in the lower body, can decline even faster. And without strong legs, everything from posture to cognitive performance to emotional resilience takes a hit. Why? Because lower body strength is one of the strongest predictors of both brain health and longevity. So in this video, we're going to do a few things. First, we'll uncover which 2 vitamins may be silently weakening your legs and why. Second, we'll dive into the exact brain muscle mechanisms being disrupted. And finally, I'll give you science-backed strategies to protect and even rebuild your lower body strength using smarter supplementation, movement protocols, and timing. Let's begin with the first concept, and it starts with the surprising way one popular vitamin can interfere with neuromuscular recovery after exercise. After 60, your muscles don't just lose mass, they lose adaptability. And this adaptability is the key to preserving strength, coordination, and resilience. But here's where it gets counterintuitive. One of the most common supplements people take to preserve their vitality, vitamin E, may be doing the opposite. Let's start with the logic behind why vitamin E became so popular. It's a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it protects cells from oxidative stress, the kind that damages membranes and DNA. That sounds like a good thing, and in many contexts it is. But when it comes to muscle growth and recovery, the picture becomes more complex. Here's what the research shows. Controlled amounts of oxidative stress are necessary for muscle adaptation when you exercise. Even just walking uphill or doing bodyweight squats, your muscle fibers experience tiny amounts of damage. That micro damage sends a signal to your body to repair and reinforce those muscles, making them stronger. But large doses of antioxidants, like vitamin E, can blunt that signal. They reduce the mild oxidative stress that's required to trigger adaptation. A 2014 study published in the Journal of Physiology found that supplementing with high-dose vitamin E and C reduced gains in endurance and mitochondrial biogenesis in older adults after exercise. Essentially, the very thing meant to protect your cells blocked your body from improving its performance. This is especially relevant for leg strength because the legs, particularly the quadriceps and glutes, rely heavily on mitochondrial function for endurance and balance. If those mitochondria aren't stimulated properly, the muscles weaken over time, even if you're moving regularly. Think of it this way. Muscle is like a smart, adaptive engine. A little bit of stress, the right kind, tunes it up. But too much shielding, too much interference from external helpers like mega antioxidants prevents that engine from responding to its environment. and the problem often comes down to dosage. Many senior multivitamins contain 400 IU or more of vitamin E, often well above the recommended daily allowance of just 15 milligrams. About 22 grams per glass, about 22 grams of fat, I should say. Taken daily, that excess builds up in your tissues over time, especially since vitamin E is fat soluble and stored in the body. So what's the tool here? A simple strategy is to reduce or eliminate high-dose standalone vitamin E supplements, unless advised by a physician for a specific condition, and instead get your vitamin E from food. Almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, all offer this nutrient in physiologically balanced amounts, paired with cofactors that your body can process effectively. Have you noticed that your leg strength hasn't improved even with regular movement? This might be a hidden reason. If this insight is helping you rethink your supplement stack, consider subscribing, because we're only getting started. In the next section, we'll explore another surprising culprit, vitamin A, and how too much of it may quietly undermine your muscle energy systems at the cellular level. Let's move to the second vitamin that may be silently weakening your legs after 60, vitamin A. Specifically, the preform type found in many supplements and fortified foods, retinol. Most people associate vitamin A with vision, immunity, and skin health. And yes, it's essential in the right amounts, but recent studies are pointing to something concerning. When taken in excess, vitamin A, particularly in its retinol form, may actually impair mitochondrial function in muscle tissue, especially in the lower body. Here's what the research shows. A 2021 study published in Neuroscience found that excessive intake of retinol was linked to reduced oxidative capacity in skeletal muscle, meaning that the energy producing factories inside your cells weren't working efficiently. This matters because your leg muscles are some of the most mitochondria dense tissues in your body. They need that energy output for everything from walking to getting out of a chair to maintaining balance. So what's happening in your body when this occurs? Too much retinol appears to interfere with the function of PGC1 alpha, a master regulator of mitochondrial biogenesis. Think of PGC1 alpha as the switch that tells your cells, hey, we need more energy. Let's build more mitochondria. But when excess retinol builds up in the liver and leaks into the bloodstream, it disrupts this signal, lowering the efficiency of the mitochondria in your leg muscles. That's not all. Retinol in high doses can also reduce the availability of other nutrients critical for muscle health, such as vitamin D and iron, by interfering with their absorption or utilization. It becomes a cascade. More vitamin A doesn't just do less good, it actively blocks the function of other vital pathways that keep your muscles responsive and strong. Here's a real-world analogy. Imagine your muscle is like a hybrid car. It runs on a smart combination of fuel and electric power. Retinol in high doses clogs the electrical system. The car still moves, but less efficiently. It hesitates, it loses torque, and over time it wears down faster than it should. Now, many people over 60 are getting far more retinol than they realize, not just from supplements, but from fortified cereals, dairy products, and animal liver. The tolerable upper limit for vitamin A in adults is 3,000 micrograms RAE per day, but a single multivitamin plus a serving of fortified cereal and a few dairy products can easily exceed that. A simple tool to apply is this: check your supplement label. If it lists vitamin A as retinol or vitamin A palmitate, and the dose is over 900 mag per men or 700 mag per women, consider reducing or switching to a formula that uses beta carotene instead. Beta carotene is a provitamin A. Your body converts only what it needs, minimizing the risk of overload. You might be asking, but what about my eyes and immune system? The good news is you can still support those systems with food-based vitamin A precursors like sweet potatoes, carrots, and dark leafy greens without overwhelming your muscle mitochondria. If this perspective is helpful, I invite you to subscribe. We're building a community that doesn't just chase health trends. We understand the science behind what really works. Next, we'll go even deeper into the mechanisms at play, specifically how neuromuscular signaling depends on a delicate balance of oxidative stress. And what happens when we shut that signal down too aggressively? We tend to think of oxidative stress as something to avoid, a destructive process that ages us and damages our cells. And in excess, that's absolutely true. But here's the nuance most people, and even some healthcare providers, miss. Not all oxidative stress is bad. In fact, when it comes to maintaining muscle strength, particularly in the legs after 60, some oxidative stress is essential. Let's talk about neuromuscular signaling. This is the communication between your nervous system and your muscles. Every time you step, stand, or balance, your brain sends electrical signals through your spinal cord to your leg muscles, instructing them to contract with the right force, speed, and timing. This system relies on fast, adaptable communication. But here's the fascinating part. For this neuromuscular circuit to stay sharp and responsive, your body needs low levels of reactive oxygen species, or ROS. These are the very molecules most antioxidants are designed to neutralize. So what's happening in your brain and body when ROS are present in the right amount? These molecules act like internal text messages. After a leg workout, for instance, small bursts of ROS tell your motor neurons, we need to reinforce this circuit, make it stronger, faster, more efficient. They trigger beneficial changes in both your neurons and your muscle fibers, leading to neuroplasticity in the brain and hypertrophy in the muscle. This process becomes more important, not less, as you age. Your motor units, the connection between a nerve and the muscle fibers it controls, begin to shrink after 60. To combat this, your body relies on adaptive signaling to preserve or even rewire these pathways. But when you blunt oxidative stress too aggressively, say with high doses of vitamin E or other antioxidant megadoses, you interrupt that feedback loop. A 2009 study from PNAS, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, showed that antioxidant overuse actually inhibited the insulin sensitivity and muscle regeneration normally stimulated by exercise. And this doesn't just affect your muscles, it slows the brain's ability to refine movement, impacting balance, gait, and fall risk. Have you ever noticed that after taking certain supplements, your legs feel less energized or your workout gains stall? It may not be aging, it may be biochemical interference. A practical tool here is to time your antioxidant intake so it doesn't interfere with your body's natural adaptation window. One simple protocol is this: avoid taking antioxidant supplements, including vitamin C and E, within 2 to 4 hours after exercise. Let your body use that oxidative signal to initiate repair and strength building. If you do supplement, consider doing so in the evening when those pathways are less active. This might seem like a small shift, but the difference in neuromuscular function can be profound over time. You're allowing your system to respond, to adapt, to grow. Rather than constantly putting up barriers, it has to work around. In the next section, we'll bring these ideas together by looking at how mobility and coordination can actually decline faster because of antioxidant overload, and how you can reverse the trend starting this week. Let's zoom out now and look at the big picture. Mobility. Mobility is not just about muscle. It's about how well your nervous system, muscles, joints, and balance centers work together. And one of the most underappreciated truths in longevity science is this: your mobility, especially in your legs, is the single best predictor of independence and health span after 60. It's not your blood pressure, not your cholesterol. It's how easily you can get up from a chair, walk briskly, climb stairs without support. But here's the paradox. many older adults are unknowingly compromising their mobility by trying to be healthier, specifically by over-supplementing with antioxidants like vitamin E, C, and even high-dose polyphenols, all in the name of fighting aging. But as we've seen, when you aggressively block oxidative signals, you're not just affecting muscle adaptation, you're disrupting movement learning. Here's what the research shows. In a 2011 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, older adults who took high-dose vitamin C and E during a 12-week training program saw less improvement in balance, strength, and coordination compared to those who trained without antioxidants. Their bodies were moving, but not learning how to move better. Why? Because antioxidant overload blunted the sensory feedback loops that refine motor control. These loops are how your brain learns from the tiny mistakes in every step, adjusting gait, improving balance, remapping movement patterns. Think of it like this. Mobility is a conversation between your brain and your body. And antioxidants, when overused, become the loud friend who talks over everyone else. You stop listening, you stop learning, and your movement becomes stiff, inefficient, or hesitant. Have you ever noticed that your balance seems to be getting worse, even though you're exercising? Or that your legs feel weaker despite walking every day? This might be why. But here's the empowering part. Mobility is one of the most trainable systems in the human body, even into your 80s and 90s, if you give your system the right inputs. So what's the protocol? Here's a science-backed tool. After strength or balance training, avoid antioxidant supplements for at least 4 hours. Let your body fully engage in the adaptive process. Instead, support that window with movement-rich nutrition. Think wild salmon for DHA, beets for nitric oxide, and berries for natural polyphenols in food form. Also, consider reducing your total supplement load once or twice per week, what some researchers call antioxidant cycling. This creates hormetic stress, a small beneficial challenge that trains your neuromuscular system to become more resilient. If this perspective is helping you reconnect with your body and rethink your approach to aging, give this video a like. It tells the algorithm and us that this kind of grounded, empowering content matters to you. Next, we'll explore exactly how to use timing, dosage, and nutrient synergy to keep the benefits of essential vitamins while protecting and strengthening your legs long-term. By now, we've looked at how certain vitamins, when misused, can quietly weaken your legs after 60. But this isn't about fear. It's about precision. And the good news is, you don't need to abandon supplementation altogether a week. You just need to get smarter about how, when, and what form you take. Let's start with timing. As we've explored, your body uses oxidative signals to adapt, especially after physical activity. That's why taking high-dose antioxidants right after exercise can blunt muscle growth, coordination, and mitochondrial repair. So here's the protocol. Avoid antioxidant supplements within 2-4 hours of physical activity. This includes strength training, walking, dancing, or balance work. Give your body time to interpret the stress and respond with growth. Instead, allow your post-exercise nutrition to center around whole foods that contain a natural balance of pro- and anti-inflammatory compounds, like blueberries, salmon, or leafy greens. These foods support adaptation without completely muting the signal. Next is dose. The body isn't a machine that improves with more input. In biology, more is often less. There's a U-shaped curve when it comes to nutrients. Too little causes deficiency, but too much can cause dysfunction. Vitamin E, for instance, shows protective effects at 100-200 IU per day from mixed tocopherols, but higher doses, 400 IU or more, have been linked to increased all-cause mortality in multiple meta-analyses, including a major review published in Annals of Internal Medicine. Same with vitamin A. We discussed how the tolerable upper limit is 3,000 micrograms RAE, yet many older adults exceed that without realizing it. So the tool here is aim for the middle of the bell curve, not the peak. Choose supplements that provide 100% of your daily value, not mega doses. And adjust your intake based on your diet, not just the label. Then there's form. Not all forms of vitamins are processed the same way in the body. Take vitamin A, retinol, and retinol palmitate are preformed and more likely to accumulate, especially in the liver. But beta-carotene, found in carrots and sweet potatoes, is a provitamin, which means your body converts only what it needs. Unless you have a rare genetic conversion issue, this is a safer and more adaptive route. Same with vitamin E. Many supplements contain just alpha tocopherol, which can crowd out the other forms like gamma tocopherol that your body also needs. So the tool here, look for mixed tocopherols in vitamin E supplements, or better yet, get it from nuts, seeds, and olive oil, where it comes balanced with cofactors that support absorption and integration. And finally, something that's rarely discussed, synergy. Nutrients don't work in isolation. For example, vitamin C helps regenerate oxidized vitamin E, and magnesium is needed for vitamin D metabolism. But when you flood the system with one nutrient, it can disrupt the balance of others. Think of your body like a jazz band. Each nutrient has its part. Overplaying one instrument throws off the entire rhythm. Have you checked your multivitamin lately? If it's megadosed across the board, it may be time to simplify. You might even benefit from targeted supplementation, where you rotate different nutrients on different days based on activity, diet, and season. In the next section, we'll pull all of this together and I'll walk you through a step-by-step guide to support leg strength, mobility, and neuromuscular resilience without the silent sabotage of excessive vitamins. Let's bring this all together with a practical science-backed protocol you can start applying today. Because at the end of the day, knowledge is only power when it becomes behavior. You now understand that excessive antioxidant supplementation, especially vitamin E and vitamin A in their synthetic or high-dose forms, can silently interfere with neuromuscular strength, mobility, and adaptation. But rather than thinking in terms of good or bad supplements, I want you to think in terms of context and control. Here's the protocol I recommend if you're over 60 and want to preserve or rebuild leg strength and function. 1, stop high-dose antioxidant supplements unless clinically advised. This includes synthetic vitamin E over 200 IU and preformed vitamin A, I more than double palmitate over 2,500 mg. If you're taking these as part of a multivitamin or standalone supplement, reevaluate. Often just discontinuing these can remove the interference in your adaptive muscle and nerve pathways. 2, start timing your nutrition and supplements strategically. After any form of leg training, strength work, walking uphill, dancing, or even Tai Chi, give your body at least 2 to 4 hours before consuming antioxidant-heavy supplements. This allows for the necessary oxidative signaling that triggers neuroplasticity and muscle hypertrophy. A simple practice here is to front load your antioxidants with breakfast on non-training days and save them for evening on active days. This honors your body's natural recovery rhythm. 3, use food as your first line defense. Whenever possible, opt for food-based sources of nutrients rather than pills. Carrots, sweet potatoes, and spinach offer beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A as needed. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and avocados provide vitamin E in mixed tocopherol form, naturally balanced and less likely to disrupt internal processes. Your body is better at handling the orchestra of nutrients in whole foods than the spotlight of a single high-dose vitamin. 4, watch your mobility like a vital sign. Mobility is a window into your nervous system's adaptability. If you notice increasing stiffness, slower walking speed, or reduced leg power, it's not just aging. It could be biochemical interference. So track your leg strength, balance, and reaction speed the same way you track your blood pressure or weight. A simple test you can do at home is the sit to stand test. from a dining chair, stand up, and sit down as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Anything below 12 may indicate compromised leg function and a reason to revisit your supplement strategy. 5, incorporate neural load into your leg training. This means engaging not just your muscles, but also your brain. Try exercises that combine movement with balance, coordination, or timing, like backward walking, step-ups with head turns, or single leg stance while brushing your teeth. These challenge your neuromuscular system and force adaptive growth. And if you've already been exercising and feel like you've hit a plateau, reducing antioxidant interference might be the key that unlocks the next level of progress. 6, build in weekly clean days. 1 or 2 days per week, go supplement free. Let your body operate without outside input. This can help recalibrate internal signaling and reduce the risk of nutrient imbalances. Think of it as a reset, a way to listen more closely to what your body actually needs. Remember, longevity isn't just about adding more years, it's about adding more function to those years, especially in your legs, which are your literal foundation for independence and vitality. If this framework is resonating with you, if you're seeing how science can empower smarter decisions for a stronger future, consider subscribing. This channel is here to help you not just live longer, but live better. Next, we'll wrap up with a recap of these insights, and I'll leave you with a specific challenge you can start today to reclaim your strength and mobility. Let's take a step back and integrate everything we've explored today. You've now seen how 2 seemingly helpful vitamins, vitamin A and vitamin E, can quietly undermine leg strength and mobility after 60. Not because they're inherently harmful, but because in excessive, isolated, or poorly timed doses, they interfere with some of the most fundamental processes that keep your muscles strong, your balance sharp, and your nervous system adaptable. Here's what the research shows. Muscle adaptation, the process of getting stronger after exercise, depends on oxidative signals. High-dose antioxidants like vitamin E can blunt that process, preventing growth. Neuromuscular coordination, your brain's ability to fine-tune movement and prevent falls, relies on sensory feedback. Over-supplementing can dampen those signals, leading to slower reflexes and declining mobility. Tissue remodeling and neuroplasticity, key for regenerating motor function, are hormetic processes. They need mild stress to stimulate repair. When we overprotect, we under-adapt. And you've learned tools to counteract this without abandoning the support that smart nutrition can offer. Time your antioxidant intake away from physical activity. Choose food-first strategies for nutrients like vitamin A and E. Look for mixed tocopherols, not isolated alpha tocopherol. Avoid mega doses. Aim for 100% of the daily value, not 300%. Cycle your supplementation, giving your body clean days to recalibrate. Treat mobility as a vital sign, training balance and coordination regularly. These aren't fringe ideas. They're grounded in peer-reviewed research, and they offer a pathway to preserving your strength, independence, and vitality well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Now, if you take away just one thing from this entire video, let it be this: more isn't always better, especially when it comes to supplements. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your body is to give it space to adapt, feel, and respond, to remove the interference and let biology do what it's built to do, grow stronger under the right conditions. Here's your challenge for today. Check your supplement cabinet. Look for any products containing vitamin E above 200 IU or vitamin A above 2,000, 500 mix, gastronol, Pelmetec, or retinol. If you find them, pause. Ask, do I really need this? Is it helping or interfering? You might be surprised by how quickly your body begins to respond when you take away the excess and let your systems breathe. And if this message helped reframe the way you think about supplements, strength, and aging, I'd love for you to like this video, leave a comment about your experience, and subscribe to join our growing community. We dive deep into science-backed tools every week to help you live not just longer, but stronger, sharper, and more self-directed. Because aging is not a decline, it's an adaptation. Let's get better together.